Hi everyone, it's Tanya and welcome to today's video. This is a very exciting video because today we are going to talk about the 2020 Booker Prize shortlist. So it was announced yesterday and I'm very excited, and I'm going to do the same as I did with International Booker Prize 2020. I am going to read all the books on the shortlist and then give you my not predictions, but just I guess my preferences and books that didn't really work for me. Later on I will watch the announcement video and react to the actual winner. So I'm very excited because I really enjoyed my experience with the International Men Booker Prize 2020 earlier this year. It was so much fun and I'm so excited to do it again, but with the Booker Prize. But I have a question for you. Which format would you prefer? Would you prefer me to do a separate video for each book on the shortlist, which would consist of my reading block of this book in the first part and then my review in the second part, so the way I did with Hard Times by Charles Dickens in this video? Or would you prefer me to do just one video containing reviews for each book on the shortlist, the way I did with the International Men Booker Prize, this video? So let me know if you would prefer like a series of these videos for each book or just one video with all the reviews for all books. So let me know in the comments, because I cannot decide on the format. I don't know which one would you prefer to watch. So help me out. Thank you. Okay, so now let's start with the shortlist. I know that a lot of people were disappointed with the shortlist. I don't really know because I haven't read any books from the long list. That's why I'm personally very excited for all the books on the shortlist, because all of them sound very interesting and like something I would enjoy. I actually feel like this shortlist was made for me. With the exception of one book, I feel like as the majority of people, I would really like to see Hilary Mantel, Mirror and the Light on the shortlist. Even though I haven't read the series, I was actually going to read the series for the Booker Prize because I was so convinced that it would be on the shortlist. Oh well, it's not. And just it's a historical fiction. I like historical fiction, and I know that like a lot of people they just say that the whole series is absolutely brilliant and the third book is also absolutely brilliant. So I was so eager to read it. I mean, I will still read it. I will still make a video reading the whole trilogy, but I just really wanted to do it for the Booker Prize. It's okay, it's not on the shortlist. Oh well. However, there is another trilogy which I will read for the Booker Prize, and it is so the first book in the trilogy is called Nervous Conditions, but the third book is nominated for the Booker Prize, which is This Mournable Body. But I decided to read like the whole series because I know Eric said that you can read the third book without reading the previous two, but of course it would be better and you would understand the character better if you read the whole series. So I feel like I'm going to read the whole series. Considering that the first two books aren't that long, they're like 200 pages something, so they're not too big. So I decided to read the whole series. From what I understand from the description, the series is about a young girl living in Zimbabwe, and Tsitsi Damgarenga, she is a Zimbabwean author and she lives in Zimbabwe. So Nervous Conditions was the first book written in English by a Zimbabwean author, so that's exciting. And the series follows this young girl who in the first book she wants an education for herself. In the rest of the books of the series, from what I understand, it is going to be a story of disillusionment. She has an idea of her life, the way she wants her life to be. In the later book, she is just constantly faced with a struggle or denial. It's about the struggle of a young girl trying to find her place in society and trying to build a life for herself the way she wants it to be, and just constantly being denied that. So that's what I understand from the synopsis. Probably it's going to be a hard and difficult read, so I need to also prepare myself. The next book on the shortlist is The Shadow King by Maza Mangiste. And Maza Mangiste is an Ethiopian American author, so she has two passports. She was born in Ethiopia. The book is based on historical events in Ethiopian history when Italian forces were about to invade the country and the country was preparing to resist. And we follow a story of a group of young women who want to do something more than just care for the wounded and bury the dead. They actually want to actively participate in defending their country, and they create this like group, I guess, of resistance. So it sounds so brilliant, and I so much want to read it, and also the cover is so beautiful. The next book, Real Life by Brendan Tyler, and in this book we follow a young man. He's on the 4th year of his biochemistry degree studies. He works in the laboratory. His father passes away, and he, being very detached from people, he doesn't talk about it to his friends. He also doesn't go to his father's funeral, and he keeps it a secret from people around them. That's from what I gathered from the synopsis, from what I understood. Problems happen at his work, and also he has some violent confrontations with people around them. And so the way Blurb puts it, deftly zooming and out of focus, Real Life is a deeply affecting story about the emotional cost of reckoning with desire and overcoming pain. So apparently this is also going to be a very emotional book, probably a very hard book to read. I probably will read it in the beginning of this whole adventure. I wouldn't be emotionally exhausted by other books. So, and I would just have the emotional ability left to read it. I probably should read it in the beginning. The rest 3 books, they just sound like they have been written for me. Because they have to do with family. As some of you might remember from my previous video where I talked about things I love in books, family is on that list. I love reading books about family, and all the rest 3 books have something to do with family stories. So let's start with Burnt Sugar. Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi. And this is a story of a mother and a daughter. And the mother, when she was young, she abandoned her husband and she ran away from her affluent family chasing some artist, and she took her daughter with her. But she never was very affectionate towards her daughter. She never really cared for her much. And now, in the times of the events of the book, the mother is already old and she starts to forget things, and it is her daughter's time to take care of. Now the daughter has to look after her mom, the mom who has never really cared much for her. So apparently it's going to be this emotional dilemma for the girl. And so again, so the blurb describes it. This is a love story, and a story about betrayal, but not between lovers, between mother and daughter. Sharp as a blade and laced with caustic wit, Burnt Sugar unpicks the slippery chords of memory and myth that bring two women together and hold them apart. So this book sounds so good, and I have also heard so many good things about it, and I feel like it's probably one of the most beloved books so far, again from what I heard. So I'm very excited to read it. The next book is also about mother-daughter relationships, and this book is called The New Wilderness by Diane Cook. And in this book we follow a mother and a daughter, and they live in this polluted, very dirty city, and mother understands that she's about to lose her child because the polluted air of the city makes girls' lungs collapse. And there is this group of people who decide to leave the city and move to this, they call it, state of wilderness. So before, the wilderness has always been forbidden for people, nobody has ever lived there, but now it has been opened and a group of people decides to move there. And I guess it's going to be a book about them learning to survive in this new state along with nature, like living in these wild conditions. And also in the blurb it says that the mother understands that she might lose her child in the ways she has never predicted before. So sounds very interesting, and I'm very excited to read it. The last book on the shortlist is Shaggy Bane by Douglas Stewart, and also it sounds so good. I feel like I'm also going to really enjoy this book. So this is also a story about a mother and her 3 children. The father of the family abandons his wife and his children. The mother falls into depression and she starts heavily drinking and heavily abusing alcohol. The family moves into a very poor working neighborhood, and 2 of the children decide to abandon their mother because she drinks so heavily, and they need to save themselves, and they abandon her. However, the younger son, Shaggy Bane, he stays. He decides to stay by his mother for as long as he can, and I guess the book is going to be an exploration of alcoholism and people struggling with this. Sounds so good. I really am very excited about this book. So this was the 2020 Booker Prize shortlist. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of this novel. Maybe you also want to read some of them. Maybe you want to read the whole short list as well. Let me know in the comments. And also please let me know which format of the videos would you prefer. So would you prefer for me to do one video for each book with the reading vlog and the review, or would you prefer just one video with all the books on the shortlist and like reviews for them? So please let me know. It would help me a lot to know which format would be the most interesting for you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a very good day. I hope you're also excited for this Booker Prize shortlist. I think the winner will be announced on the 17th of November, but don't quote me on that. I need to check it again. So I will put the real date in the description box down below. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a very good day, stay safe, and I will see you soon in the next videos. Thank you very much. Bye.